Hi guys, this will be episode 3 on the hobby grade conversion of this Chicco toy car. Quick recap, it was toy grade radio control. I didn't have a matching transmitter for the Chicco receiver, so I swapped it out for a temporary 27 megahertz receiver and got it running just so we knew it all worked. I then converted it to hobby grade, what I would call a halfway house, where we use 2 ESCs, one for the drive motor and one for the steering motor, and that works. So Flysky receiver, 2 ESCs, I was running it on a small 2S LiPo, and it works. But what you don't get is proper proportional steering. So what we're going to do in this episode, if I can find it, is see if we can fit this small Metal Gear servo in the front. I don't know if that's going to be powerful enough. I usually use 9 gram. 9 gram? Well, no, these are 9 gram. Bigger ones for steering. But I thought I'd give this one a try, just see if it got enough. It's only a small car. So I'll just take this out the way and we'll have a look at the steering. First thing is, how do we get the steering out? Looks to me like it would drop out the bottom if I undo enough bits. That's what I'm hoping anyway. This dear old screwdriver, one of my Poundland screwdrivers, is just beginning to wear out. It must be a good few years old, and it's lasted very well, but that's getting a little bit worn down, so I probably ought to replace it. And when I say replace it, I have about half a dozen of these in various places around the house. It's just that particular bit that's getting worn down. But it's not a good idea to use a worn down screwdriver bit because you start messing up the heads of the screws. So when I've done this, I should probably swap over to a different one. Right, I think that is going to drop off. Yeah. Okay, so that's our steering unit. I will just go and change screwdrivers. Right, another one. That one's slipping a bit. Maybe it's just these screwdriver bits. Maybe it's just these screws. Going to be too big. That seems alright. Maybe they're just a bit shallow and that one's not going in deep enough to grip properly. Whereas this one's a wider head on it. Head, bit. Right, that's going to pull straight out, I should think, yeah. So nice little, probably 1.5 volt motor, although they run on higher voltages. But simple basic flat can, I think they call them. And with a bit of luck, this is going to lift up and we can see everything underneath. So that sits in there. That's the one that's turned by the motor, that gear. And that pushes this side to side to make the steering work. And it's got a bit of slack in the middle there, so the steering's not very precise. It has to move a long way before the steering actually moves. So we can whip that one out. That might be handy for something else. Take that out. Get that pin out. Probably. That one doesn't want to come out. Okay, we don't need that bit, that's the bit that centres it. And we don't need the spring, and it doesn't want to come out, so we'll pull it out the hard way. That piece doesn't want to come out. We can see inside quite clearly now. If I lift it up, the wheels fall off. And I think we're okay. So that's our steering. I'll just pop that back on there because it holds it nicely in place. So what we've got to arrange is for the servo, when it turns, to push this rod or connection piece. We can either just put one of the arms on there and, yeah, I think this is what I'll probably do. Put that one there somewhere, and then just have a little bit of bent paper clip to go from there to there. I'll drill a little hole in there. So we've got a nice short attachment. To move it. Question is, how do we fix that in place? Right, still thinking about this. If I just lay it flat on top, have that sticking down in there, like that, cut all this area out the way, that'll do it. I think we'll do it that way. There's already a little mark around there in the moulding. I'm going to cut that area out, and that should give me access for the servo to poke in. Right, so I've cut the slot out. Don't know if we can actually see that moving in there or not. How's the light? So this is the rod we want to push along with the end of this. So I should just need to connect a little bit of bent paper clip from in there to there, and that should give us the steering. That'll probably be moving far too far, to be honest. Probably need to connect it right up here somewhere to reduce the throw. But that should do the job. So what I'm saying is, if I take this off, drill a little hole in here somewhere. That probably in just there. Push a paper clip through there, just because paper clips are a convenient source of stiff wire. And that should give us the steering. There's our bent paper clip. I'll cut that to length to match up with where we're going to put the servo. Right, I'm just holding the servo in place at the moment. So that's our steering. What I've had to do in here, I've had to turn the steering trim right down. Well, I've turned it to about 50% of the normal movement. Otherwise, this is trying to pull it much too far, or pull it and push it, because we've only got quite a limited amount of travel. And even there, I'm still hitting the stops at either side, so I could probably trim it down a bit more. Bit of hot glue on there, wait for that to cool down. Let's see if we can get it back together. So that's going to go through there. Which way round was it? The other way. Yeah, that fits in nicely. Right, so stick this back together. Oh, the other thing we do have to do is probably trim all that lot out so we can stick a 2S LiPo in the bottom there, in the top of the battery box. So I'll do that later. Just rest all that in there for now. So, I bet we've got, yeah, I've got steering reversed. Swap that over, right, left. So, we have proportional steering. And forwards and backwards. I will do what I said. I'll trim all that plastic out. There'll be plenty of room for that little 2S lipo to fit in there. Yeah. All we do there is just give it a bit of a helping hand. Where are we? Need to tidy that up a bit, but that will now fit in there nicely. All up together. Before we run it, I'll just show you. Actually looks fairly neat. ESC, Flysky, whatever it was, GR3E receiver, which is a 3-channel, and a little 9-gram Metal Gear servo for the steering. I have given it a little test run, and I do think that the gears are beginning to crack up in the gearbox, but we'll still give it a run. I might do a 4th episode, because I might take that receiver out of there and have a look at it and see if there's any way we can actually activate the sound effects without actually controlling it with 27 megahertz or 40 megahertz or whatever it was. See if we can just directly access the sound effects. It'd be nice to be able to get the LEDs running as well. But first of all, we'll give it a run like this. Just tuck the area inside. Hobby grade. I'm doing it gently to demonstrate that it is hobby grade and we've got proportional control. We might have proportional control, it doesn't mean we've got a good driver. That is on full lock though. And the faster I go, the wider the circle becomes. So yeah, I'll call that a success. Whoa, that gearbox didn't like that. Slamming it in reverse, it complained. Oh dear, I think I've killed the gearbox. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Oh well, we had a bit of fun. Yeah. Oh dear, oh dear. Yeah, okay. So, ultimately a failure.
Thanks for watching. You'll find more information down in the video description. You might like to watch that video up there, and you might like to subscribe over there.